making amends with Dad. Dad, can you hear me, Dad? Dad, Mom cried today. Her tears haven't stopped flowing since you died today. All I can say is, you know it hurt to see go out that way. With debts unpaid and soul unsaved, and worst of all, the road not paved well enough for your kids to see the winding path to manhood. Misunderstood, I understand you probably were, but if I can stand a broken man, then I know you could have done better, Dad. We both share similar pains. We both had storms of thunder that brought similar rains. The difference, Dad, is I'm refrained from passing this pain to my kids. I can't even list all the stuff you did, from drunks to jail bits. Let me start being fair. The pain you passed is mine, so now I'm going to share my trials with you. Cycle begun somewhere, but it's dying with you, and this I promise. So let me start from the top. You were a victim of drugs because you couldn't stop. Nah, Dad. Your family was your victim, your addiction to crack rocking, whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you now that you almost destroyed us, Dad, and I'm going to tell you how. Since you left, Dad, Mommy never been right. And since a part of your seed, they'll never be tight. You cast a shadow so dark, there's never enough light to get away from your image. Of constant excess, you were constantly high and causing Mom stress. And what's causing all this is that you can leave me now without telling me how you could do this to me. Daddy, I need you now because this pain, it hurts. And Daddy, I need you now because this pain is worse than you could possibly imagine. Dad, I'm in desperate need of a change and change reaction, and I feel like this every day. I need you to go back and change your ways in every way. Like when you first saw my mother, Dad, you should have turned your head. You had to have it, Dad. You chased it down instead. Now her blood is red flowing with HIV. The only gift you gave was death, and actually, that should be you. She's lonely. And you're her one and only, and it's absurd when I think of her dedication to you. It's since passing on she had 3 out of all your kids. It's since passing on about the drugs you did. It's since passing on another woman's house you hid. Every time you got hide and wanted to hide it from the life you lived. Where's your sacrifice? She gave hers to you. Picking up your problems, she gained pain for 2. Let me explain to you how you pay her back. You're being invisible on now from every attack. And that's all I ask, Dad. All I ask. Never an easy request or a simpler task. Be my guardian angel, my light that shines, partaker of my success and all that's mine. And I promise in time I will find the strength to forgive you. Just help me to not be you. Teach me what's wrong and right and what's not to do. You be a father now, Dad, to your struggling wife. And be the father in death, Dad, you wasn't in life. Promise me. This poem is called Streets. I am the street. I am who your son or daughter wants to be if, of course, you work in an urban city. I am the product of vacant dreams. And because of my inability to see outside my worthless society, I'm going to make sure your kids won't too. In reality, I can reach them a little faster than you. I got that work. And even though I do dirt, I got what they need. The money satisfies the greed. And even though the loyalty is to the dough I stack, I can delegate authority, give them the sell my crack, a power you lack. In this war we use, fools as tools. I think it's best I explain the rules. If you're ignorant, God help your life. Like my street soldiers, yeah, I trained them well with these statistics. Sad story to tell, another mother to mourn her birth. As she watched her broken baby carried off in a hearse. Me, personally, this doesn't affect. Because I, personally, have no heart. I have no tears or fears apart from an empty soul. Since I was born in the streets I was meant to control. And I am Pharaoh, a soul as dark as the night. My Hebrews are crack addicts, slaves of the pipe. They fall in brothers, sons, childs, and mothers who come to me because I have the cure. For disease created by who not sure. I don't really care. I'm not going to lie. Because the way I look at it, I'm too strong to die. Till somebody screams drive by and they catch me, I'm hit. And now I dwell in dreaded silence. I yell I'm going to kill you punks who brought this violence. You must have been wild thinking you can seal my doom and seal my tomb. Just let me check my wound out. I glanced down, it's fatal. I got 2 bullets in my chest, one straight through my navel. From the cradle to the grave. Now this just can't be. I'm too young, black, and strong to be a casualty. But in actuality, I probably had to be an example, aren't I? Of what not to do. The truth was in the streets bleeding, gunned down in his youth. And what a sight to see how the most powerful men in the ghetto creates a tapestry of gray and red. My inner colors are collage of cement marking the spot I bled. And see, I know what's next. Women and children will cry because they witnessed my death. Running, out of breath, not much time left. This pain, it hurts. My mother's is worse. But I was one with the streets, now I'm one with the earth. I seen him. The one they called Christ, the Messiah, King of Kings, the light of the world. I seen him. The one who was chosen to be called King of Jews, who refused to pay homage to the Pharisees. I seen him. The one who touched lives, brought sight to blind eyes, taught knowledge to false wise. I seen him. And while I was close enough to touch his skin, smell his sweat, set him free, I did nothing other than to scream, "Let him be, he has done nothing wrong." I watched as what had to be a legion of the strongest soldiers kicked him, beat him, whipped him, mistreat him beyond what happened to criminals that were commonplace. I cried as he cynically lifted his head to spit on his face, and yes, I tasted his pain. I did nothing other than to scream his name, Jesus. I was frozen in fear. Why, God, why have I chosen to be here? Why do I bear this most brutal account of pain being dished out in massive amounts? I cried at the thought of what they did. Broke his back, shattered his jaw, split his ribs. If he was King of Kings, then why were they allowed to do such unspeakable things to him? I paused. He did not fight back. Never to kick or punch did he ever react, just took the full brunt of the attack, his head bowed in prayer. 4 head layers now peeling. Pain, yielding, bleeding, building on this desert floor, and it wasn't enough. The crowd wanted more horror and gore, so they called for the cross, and immediately they attacked it to his back, and yet I still lacked the courage to say what was left of him. So there Jesus stood, 2 thieves at a punctured side, eyes wide with pain, and then he began to look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes. And that's when the question first arose. I loved him, would not bear his cross. I followed him, would not defend him at my life's cost. It wasn't right. I wasn't right, so I decided for my king I would fight. I took my spear, I tossed it in the air, I hit a soldier who was standing there daring to mock him, standing there watching him. I decided to fight, felt the spear in my right, and what was black became white. I died. I died. But if ever I am dead, let it be said, I died a soldier of Christ.